In Washington, the last hope of the Kremlin, Donald Trump, is being severely tormented. The ex-president has been summoned to court again and formally charged with plotting to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. Trump, as expected, did not plead guilty, but was released until the next meeting, which will be held on August 28. His fans have already raised a howl about the corruption of Joe Biden and the attempt to prevent the great Donnie from being elected as the main rival and deliverer of America from the yoke of the Democrats. The Kremlin is trying to inflate the global fire from a prayed toilet to an enemy Washington region. Thousands of Prigozhin's aides prisoners have already been driven to the borders with Poland and Lithuania, as the notorious toilet threat to pampered Europe, which it is high time to shake up. Ukraine has been shaken up, now it's time for the EU. With the African Barmeli in St. Petersburg, everything that is necessary has been worn out. Now we will throw out the frogs from Niger, and the ghost of Kuzakan's mother will appear on the horizon in full growth. True, the International Criminal Court is again bullshit, threatening to issue another warrant for the arrest of the bald leader now for the crimes of PMC Wagner, but one warrant more, one less, it does not matter. All the same, Putin is not a rider in the outside world. Until 2030, he can sit in a bunker in the name of spreading toilet slurry around the world. The Taliban are asking for money to build a railway that would connect the Afghan cave to Europe with the delivery of furry suicide bombers in the bed of Scholz and Macron. A project worthy of attention and bald encouragement. Things are not going well on the Ukrainian fronts. Mognatic dies without regaining consciousness. After a night drone attack on the harbor of Novorossiysk, the Russian landing ship, Olenegorski Gornyak, was hit. One of its compartments flooded, the trough tilted. As Putin says, it is necessary to mess up. This is how the armed forces of Ukraine are messing up Novorossiysk under the program for beginners. And Moscow City at night is tested for strength by drones. Sobyanin on Thursday night told the Freie Führer for a long time how he was going to fight back if a swarm of drones arrived. Pieces of 50 or even a couple of hundred. And the victims of the Ministry of Digital Transformation and the Ministry of Economic Development, where the ill-fated drones ended up, are urgently decentralizing digital data, spreading bases across different offices. What's good for schematics is that there are thousands of circuits that they can run in no time. Life according to shadow schemes is in their blood. Putin signs dozens of shady secret decrees and advises officials to switch to domestic autotrophs, and in general to be more modest. The best thing is to change into grey rat suits without demonstrating luxury items in front of the psychotic plebs. Having recovered from the knockdown after the rebellion, Ratputa is again full of show-offs and impudence, and the greyhound enters the arena of the election circus. The radicals are seated in cells. Even the case of Gherkin was classified so that the angry whining disappeared from the air. The war is planned to be long, and long-term promises to pull the Russians out of the slums will end in the fact that they will indeed be pulled out, but only into the trenches. Is the offensive of the armed forces of Ukraine slowed down by minefields? You can stop it altogether with 3 million meat carcasses. And there the West will get tired, and even seat Ukraine at the negotiating table. Endure, fall in love. We whined guts and shit. Little by little. Missed the blitzkrieg. It's okay, we'll get out. It is customary for the shaggy-faced people to live in a cesspool. They will live for a few more years, until 2030, until the bald miracle dies. There is only one inconsistency in this harmonious theory. If Ukraine sits down at the negotiating table with Putin, this will mean the defeat of Ukraine. And anyone who takes such a step will be swept away by his own army. Those who today lay down their lives on the altar of Ukrainian independence will not tolerate such humiliation. This means that Putin's issue will have to be resolved as a question of a conditional living Hitler. Without the fact of his death, as a person by whose will this vile war began, no peace is possible. Yes, and Biden promised in plain text, Putin's power will end under me. So the interests of Kyiv and Washington converge precisely on Putin. More precisely, on the elimination of this shit. Because it is necessary to end the massacre, it is necessary to start negotiations. But not with this asshole. And since the cave is irrational and unpredictable, then something that cannot be calculated can happen. On the calendar, the very month that is famous for unexpected upheavals. So August is here to help.